Hi there, welcome to Stellar Wyckoff weekly session. We're looking at the Stellar weekly candlestick chart, and before getting into the details, these sessions are not financial advice, they're for education research purpose only. Your discussions are very welcome, however, so make good use of the comments section. Back to the chart, I've put down this last point of supply tag like 3-4 weeks ago. And it's time to push it a little bit to the right. I can create another one, but it's not too much of a dip. Then it's better to move it over here just to make it simple. However, for sign of weakness, I do want to duplicate. So that's the refreshed view for Stellar in terms of big picture. If we look at the previous distribution cycle, it's not difficult to see we've got one sign of weakness after UTAD, and then these LPSYs, well, you can call this one as well, and probably this one over here. But like I said, it's going to make the chart too busy, so I tend not to do it. Let's leave that for now. When we look at this chart, it seems that Stellar hasn't gone into an accumulation cycle yet, given these doesn't look like they have dropped below PSY, but it's not a must for prices to drop below this level to start an accumulation. If this over here, this point is not a sign of weakness, but rather a selling climax. Let's make this hypothesis. Change this to orange, and mark it as SC. Over here, there's a little bit of horizontal action. I would change it as PS, that's preliminary support. Let's assume it that way for the time being. And yeah, what would that be if the previous one is selling climax? Obviously, this will become automatic rally high point. So these are totally hypothetical, just speculation. Supposing the distribution cycle isn't over yet, but given this price movements, why not give these tentative tags over here? Once the price comes down to a level lower than the PSY, or like starts to accumulate over here with all these second tests and all, then we can comfortably move these orange tags over. So let's keep both for now, in case we have a much shorter accumulation cycle or distribution cycle combined compared to what we have seen in 2021-22. This is not the likely case, just like a very slim chance that they hold true. It's more like the blue than the orange. So let's look at the daily chart. So obviously this blue box has finished. However, it's more like a fake out and then it's returning to the box, so it's a bit tricky. Or another way to look at this is to just draw this way and closing the top from February over here. Then it makes much more sense, right? So let me take away this blue box and just focus on this one. Now we can see the price movements are actually like started from early February all the way to now. It's being traded along this range, and we can also draw a center line So a downward or upward box can also have a center line, basically telling us, okay, the price is trading above or at the upper half of the zone or the lower half of the zone. Right now it's at the upper half. However, the trend is going into the white box. So let me set this line to just current interval, not to mess up the weekly view. So if I extend this box further, that is around September. If the price continue to trade at the upper section of this box, then it will be around September time that it re-enters the long-term playground zone. So that's the picture for Stellar for now. It will be interesting to see how this develops over the next 2 to 3 weeks to see whether the price really re-enters and stay within the white box. That's the long-term playground zone. By then, there's a likely chance that we see an accumulation period happening. So let's see whether that's the case for the coming weeks.